In 2022, Zcash was trading at $20. Most people had written it off completely. By May 2026, it hit $642. That's not luck. That's a story worth understanding. Zcash launched in October 2016, and the first hours of trading were unlike anything crypto had seen before. With almost no coins in circulation, the price printed above $5,000. Not because of fundamentals, because of pure scarcity and speculation. Then came 2017. The bull market lifted everything. ZEC reached its all-time high, around $3,191. And then, like almost everything else, it crashed. By 2022, Zcash was trading below $20. 4 years of silence. Most people stopped talking about it entirely. So what is Zcash, and why does it keep coming back? At its core, Zcash is a privacy coin, but not privacy in a vague sense. Privacy backed by cryptographic proof. It uses something called zk-snarks, zero-knowledge proofs. Here's the simple version. Imagine you can prove to someone that you know a secret without ever revealing what the secret is. That's what Zcash does with transactions. The transaction happens. It settles on the blockchain. But nobody can see who sent it, who received it, or how much. This is not a small technical detail. This is the entire reason Zcash exists, and the reason it attracts a very specific kind of attention. Edward Snowden, yes, that Edward Snowden, publicly praised Zcash's architecture, not as a tool for criminals, as a serious cryptographic achievement built by scientists who understood what financial privacy actually means. Here's something most traders miss about privacy coins. They don't just follow Bitcoin, they follow fear. When markets crash, regulators get louder. Governments talk about surveillance. Exchanges get pressured to report transactions. And suddenly, people remember that the blockchain is public. Every wallet, every transfer, fully visible to anyone who looks. That's when demand for privacy infrastructure spikes. It happened in 2020. It happened in 2022. And it's happening again now. But 2026 is different from previous cycles, because the fundamentals shifted. In January 2026, the SEC closed its nearly 2-year investigation into the Zcash Foundation. No enforcement action. That removed the single biggest institutional roadblock to owning ZEC. Then in May 2026, Grayscale filed to convert its Zcash trust into the first US spot privacy coin ETF, ticker ZCSH, on NYSE Arca, a privacy coin, on a US exchange, as a regulated product. The narrative around privacy coins changed from "this is used to evade taxes" to "this is essential infrastructure for financial confidentiality." They even have a phrase for it now: privacy is normal. And when institutions started listening, the price went from $20 to $642. Let's look at where ZEC stands right now. After peaking at $642 in May, ZEC has pulled back to around $420 to $430. That's a healthy correction after a massive run, but it puts us at an interesting technical moment. The key support level to watch is $400. This is the psychological floor. It's been tested and held recently. Below that, the next area traders watch is $380. On the upside, the $500 to $520 zone is now resistance. That was the breakout level on the way up. When price broke above it, the move to $642 happened fast. Reclaiming $520 on a daily close would be the first real signal that the next leg up is starting. Above that, targets are $700, then $850. And if the ETF gets approved and institutional demand picks up, the $1,000 level becomes a real conversation. On the downside, if $380 breaks convincingly, the next major support cluster sits around $300 to $320. And the deeper floor, where the 200-day EMA and old range highs meet, is around $200. Two scenarios from here. Bullish. ZC holds $400, reclaims $520 on a daily close. Path opens towards $700, then $850. The ETF catalyst and continued institutional accumulation keep the privacy narrative alive. Invalidation, a clean break below $380 with volume. Bearish, the ETF gets rejected, or regulatory pressure on privacy coins returns in the US or EU. ZEC drops back to $300 to $320. In a more extreme scenario, $200, where long-term buyers historically step in. Invalidation, a reclaim of $520. This is one possible scenario, not a prediction. Privacy coins carry specific regulatory risk that other assets don't. Always manage your risk. Zcash went from $20 to $642, not on hype, but on a structural shift. Privacy infrastructure, SEC clarity, institutional interest, and a potential ETF. The key levels: hold $400, watch $520, targets above $700 to $850. Risk below $380, $300, $200. If you want the same breakdown for another privacy coin or altcoin, the playlist is linked below. Not financial advice. Always manage your risk.